Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I'm your host, TheDividendAristocrat, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all my dividend income for the month of July. Now, if you do enjoy this type of content and appreciate the transparency, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a ton. As a reminder, this is not financial advice, and I'm just merely sharing my opinions on this channel. Now, with that being said, let's start by taking a look at my portfolio dashboard. So in total, I invested over $65,000 into the portfolio with a current value right under 100K. Now, if we're able to finish off the week in the green, it's very likely I'll be able to break this 100K barrier once again. In terms of unrealized gains, it's at over $34,000 with a 52% total return and with $3,000 in dividends earned so far, with $1,300 going forward and a portfolio yield of 1.39% or a yield on cost of 2.12%. Now in total, my portfolio is fairly diversified with over 20 different holdings, and I currently hold $3,900 in cash, which I'm looking to deploy into stocks within my portfolio. If we take a look down here, I like to show this off in my monthly recaps because it shows how much I invested and how much I received in dividends every single year since 2020. Now in 2020, I only invested $2,800 and I received $12.45 of dividend income from VOO. And fast forward to now, I've already invested $12,000 this year with still a couple months remaining in the year with almost $700 of dividend income received this year. Now my record is from last year at $1,053 and I'm definitely expecting to be able to surpass that this year. So without further delay, here's the companies that paid me out a dividend this month. It is a smaller month for me compared to some of my previous ones, but we still have Altria Group paying me $28.96, which is pretty nice. And I reinvested that to get 0.404 shares of Altria Group at $71.68 per share. Now my other dividend was Intuit at $14.40, and the reason this looks so weird is because I did not reinvest this dividend automatically. Instead, I hold it in cash now and I can decide to deploy it in the future. Now for most of my holdings in the portfolio, I no longer automatically reinvest it. I only have it set for certain stocks in the portfolio and my ETFs like VOO and schd. Now jumping into my dividend calendar, I like to show it off because it's another way to visualize my dividend earned for the month. So you can see that for the month of July, those are the two dividends we just covered. So in total, I earned $43.36 this month. And so far this year, it adds up to $669.63. Now the other nice thing we can look at, and I'll use Altria Group here because I do reinvest my dividends in Altria Group. You can see how quickly the dividends have grown over time. So in January, I received $28.02, in April $28.55, and now in July $28.96. And as they continue to do dividend increases and I continue to reinvest my dividends, this will continue to compound over time. So far this year, I've already earned $85.53, and I'm definitely going to be earning over $100 in dividends before the end of the year. For my monthly breakdown sheet, what it does show us is how much I invested and how much dividends I received every year since starting the portfolio. So we can scroll all the way down to 2026 to take a look at this specific month, and it's $43.36 like we already covered, and I invested almost $1,000 in July. Now highlighted in green right above it, I have conditional formatting to show me the biggest month of dividend income so far, and if you guys haven't watched it, that's the month of June, and I'll link it in the description down below. The nice thing we can take a look at right here is my dividends over time graphed out, and although sporadic because of my large concentration in ETFs, they're still continuing to grow over time pretty steadily. Now before we wrap up this video, let's take a look at the holdings that paid me out a dividend this month. We have both of them right here. We have my cost basis for each with the current price shown next to it. Right now, Intuit is actually in the green for the first time basically since buying it, which is pretty nice to see. Scrolling over to the right, we can see how many shares purchased of each and how many shares I have with dividend reinvestments. I have not reinvested my dividends for Intuit, so it's remained the same, but for Altria Group, I've actually earned 5 shares of Altria Group just by reinvesting that dividend income. Now shown right here is my percent change or my total return. My Intuit position is only slightly in the green at 2.58%, but my Altria Group on the other hand is actually a double at 98.91% increase. Now taking a look at some of the dividend metrics for both of these positions, let's start with Altria Group. I've already earned $310 in total from this position, which I've reinvested back into the stock, and every year going forward, I should earn about $118. Now as I continue to reinvest that dividend, this number will of course continue to go up, but in the meantime, we can see that my yield on cost is 9.79% with a current yield of 6.21%, and that's because I bought it at a significant discount to current stock price. My allocation in the position is 1.9%, which is right where I want to have it. Between 2 and 3% is my sweet spot currently, though it is starting to get a little bit small as other positions have continued to grow. Now Intuit is a newer position, so I was able to allocate a lot more money to it. So it's 3.8% of my portfolio currently, which is also pretty nice. And it's paid me out $14.40 with the first ever dividend I've received from it. And every year going forward is expected to pay me out $57.60. That gives me a current yield of 1.52% or a yield on cost that's a little bit higher at 1.56%. Now, as always, that does bring us to the end of today's video. I was hoping to keep it on the shorter side because I did only receive 2 dividend payments this month. Now, if you guys did make it all the way to the end of the video, let me know in the comments down below how much dividend income you received this month and from which companies paid out. If you haven't yet watched last week's video where I talked about a stock I consider to be a pretty good opportunity in the market right now, check out this video right here. And if you want to see how much dividends my 300 shares of schd pay me, check out this video right here. Remember, the best time to invest was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. I want to thank every single one of you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.